Okay, welcome to A Long and Long Time Ago with me, Adam. I'm joined, as always, by my cousin, Martin. How's it going, Martin?
Yep, good. Thanks, Adam. Really good. Thank you.
Yep. Oh, quite a brisk start there.
Yep. Yeah, get on with it.
Get on with it, yeah. Today we're back with Making the Grade Part 5. So over to Martin to tell you how it all goes.
Yeah, just a little reminder of what I'm doing. I've started a collection around about, what would you say, 3 months ago now I started?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, about
It was
3 months.
just before Christmas, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, December, I think we started recording these. But
Hmm.
yeah, about December time, I won three graded figures in an auction. And being an original trilogy someone who grew up during the
Enthusiast.
original trilogy, yeah,
Yeah.
and played with the Kenner toys. As soon as I got these in hand, I fell in love with them and decided to collect all 96 of the original Kenner figures graded.
Yep.
I have got some carded Kenner and Palitoy figures in my collection, but I just love the way they look in the cases. So
Yeah, they do look good. Good. The loose figures graded.
yeah, absolutely. And I think there's something about the case styles that they use now with the weapons just to the side of them. They display really nicely. So yeah, this is part 5 of my journey into collecting all 96 Kenner Star Wars figures, and I have some new additions to tell you about this week.
Excellent. They're far away, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as always, I do kind of like to start with what I've learned collecting these since the last time we recorded an episode. And I've got a couple of things this time round. Again, before I go into them, I'd just like to thank everybody who's been giving us great advice, or me specifically, about variants, what to look out for, what not to collect, when not to collect them, what um, things to not buy them on, e.g., eBay buy it nows, which I've
But
certainly made the mistake of in the past.
before we get too far ahead, I looked at the comment from Action Figure Grader on the IG88 variants.
Yeah,
So well, there's many variants, isn't there?
yeah. I mean, I couldn't quite believe. It's not just Action Figure Grader, but I think Blacked Out Ewok has been telling us quite a lot about the different number of variants there are of each figure, and it's mind-boggling how
That's
many there
crazy.
are.
It's
Yeah,
crazy. I didn't realize. I just
no,
assumed it would be like Hong Kong, Taiwan, and then the other couple. But there's Spanish in there as well.
there's Spanish, there's POC, I think it's called PBP, I think with some of them. I mean, it's mental, but it's not just the country of origins either. It's sometimes some of the figures have got different molds
Mm.
and some of them have got different colorings. And IG88, for example, some of them have hollow eyes, some of them don't.
Some of
And
them were red eyes, and some of them weren't they?
Yes, right. And it's
Mm.
so for the start of this series, I'm going to put my hat down and say, right, I'm only going to collect the original 96, and I'm not going to particularly look at the variants. I'm just going to get the 96. And then perhaps after we've completed the 96, I might then start looking into picking up variants of certain figures that I really love.
Oh my god.
But that's a long way away, as
It is, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
probably go into a bit later. But first and foremost, what have I learned since the last episode? Well, the first thing I've learned, and probably won't surprise anybody, is don't buy an arcade one-up Star Wars arcade machine if you're going to collect the original 96 Kenner graded Star Wars figures.
That's not going to help.
No, yeah, it's kind of already put quite a scupper in on a few things I've been looking at, because I just simply can't do it. So my madness took over, and unfortunately, I've kind of thought to myself, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have bought that, but at the same time, I love it. So what are you
Mhm.
going to do?
Yeah.
Um, the
Well,
sec.
is
Oh,
there?
sorry.
Sorry, is there? because I'm looking at it in the background there. Are there actual coin slots there, or is that just a sort of to make it look like the arcade version?
Yeah, it's a faux coin
Yeah,
door.
that's a shame. I thought you could start making your money back.
But the thing is, I don't know if anybody who never played on them in the 80s would ever pay to play it because they're quite basic games. But again, just to throw that word out there again, nostalgia.
Mm,
For me, who went into all those arcades in the seaside, that's all I played when I was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah. The second thing I learned, and this was due to Gerard Coyle, let me know this. So thanks, Gerard. I think I don't know if you remember in the last episode, I commented that the Greedo that I purchased, the graded Greedo, had like a plastic backing on its back, which had made its limbs point forward. So
Mm,
it was kind of pointed in a slight V shape, so its hips were pointed outwards.
yeah.
Well, he quite amusingly told me that actually this is quite a common problem with graded figures, and it's commonly known in the collectors community as the porn star pose. So I thought that was hilarious, and I'd
Yeah,
never heard that before. So thank you, Gerard.
that
You
is a
did
good
make me
one.
laugh.
Yeah.
But that's all I really have learned this time round. So I'll crack right on with my pickups for
Well,
this episode.
well, before you do, so like with the Greedo, is that something that bothers you that being in that position, or like for display purposes, it's
I
only
imagine
really noticeable side on, is it? Or
it's only noticeable side on, and I've got to be honest, as someone who really cares about the aesthetics of how things look, especially in my Star Wars room, it does bother me a little bit.
does
And
it?
yeah, it does a little bit. And there's obviously the case is sealed. There's absolutely no way you can get back in there and
Mm.
push him back in the right um, direction, perpendicular. I don't know what the right word would be, but you know, yeah, I suppose I could shake it a little bit and hope that the limbs
I
pointed back in
wouldn't.
the right.
I would. I don't think that's a good idea.
No,
I'm just wondering if you maybe might think about one day selling him and replacing him. That's all.
possibly,
Yeah.
possibly, but I have to say he looks immaculate, as I said in the last episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
there's just the paint on him looks absolutely spotless. So I'm probably willing to live with it, to be honest with you, for the time being.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Let's get into it then.
Right. Yep. So all four of these I actually won in a auction, a Vectis toy auction. Now, a
Another
lot of collectors
Vectis.
out there will know Vectis. They do a toy. Well, they are. I think they specialize in toy auctions.
Mm.
To be honest with you, whether it be vintage or really old 1930s, 40s toys, all the way up to modern.
Yeah. And we've
Uh,
spoken about them before. You've obviously used them a couple of times.
that's right, and they were actually where I won the three original ones, which got me into this mess. Uh, so yeah, I did the whole bidding online thing, and I actually bid on about 12 in total, and I didn't expect to win 12 because I had a price limit as you do with Adam's
Yeah.
Bounty Hunt,
I
and
expect you were hoping not to win 12 as well.
well, yeah, at one point I was scared, but
Yeah.
thankfully I only won four, and these are they. The first was a 1983 Klaatu.
Hmm.
This is one that I actually do own in a carded figure
Yeah.
from back in the day. I actually have two of them. I have a punched and an unpunched one. So I now have it loose graded as well, just to diminish the collection. It's actually in the old case styles, and we've spoken of those before. They're the ones where they sellotape the
Mm.
weapon to the side of the case rather than having it in its own little slot,
That's right.
or
Yeah.
laser printed or cut little slot to the
Mm.
side.
Mm.
Yes, I was a bit. I know I've said, oh, I really want the new style cases, but two things really occurred to me in this case. Klaatu's quite a common figure. He's not exactly a fan favorite, and
No.
to be honest with you, I managed to get him for a little bit cheaper than I think you would do otherwise. So that's why I decided to go for the old case style.
Mm.
He's a
Klaatu is sorry. Carry on. I'll ask in a sec.
Yeah, no, he's a no. The one I got was a no COO. It was UKG graded 85%, and it
Pretty
cost
good.
me £50.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so question I was going to ask was Klaatu is the species?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't.
pretty sure it is because in
Okay,
Mandalorian, the Raiders in one of the episodes,
Platoonian. Yes, you're right. Yeah,
Platoonians. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well
So
done.
this guy
Yeah.
doesn't have a name, and he was he a
Oh,
sail
he does
barge
have a
character?
name. He does have a name.
Oh,
His
he
name is
does.
Woof,
Oh
and I
yeah,
think we've talked
yeah.
about this before. You were
Dumb
shocked that
name.
his name was Woof. It's
It's a dumb
W
name.
O
Triple
O
O.
O F. That's it. Yeah, well, I think it might be double F. I'm not 100% sure. I've actually got him quite close to me. No, I can't see him. But yes, his name is Woof.
Oof.
He was named after the films, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, where does he appear in the films?
he's one of Jabba's
He
minions.
is. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah.
Um, he does have a. I don't know if it's the same character, but there's a another Klaatu, but and he's a skiff master. He has a different outfit,
Yeah.
which is another vintage figure that you can
Hmm.
get. But I don't know if it's the same character necessarily. It's again because it's just called Klaatu.
Hmm.
So if anyone can help me with that, I'm sure they will. Um, so the second graded figure I picked up was the 1984 Wicket,
Okay.
and that was an old case style. The COO was Taiwan. It was UKG graded 85%, and that cost me £70.
Okay. Yeah. How
Um,
do you feel about that? Do you feel like you've got a
I,
decent
I think for an old case
price?
style, I think it would have been nice to perhaps get him for 60,
Hmm.
not 70. But I do love Wicket. And I love, I'm an Ewok fan. I
Hmm.
never understood the hatred towards Ewoks. I do love the Ewoks, and I love Wicket, the Ewok.
Hmm.
And the bit where in Return of the Jedi, where he's flinging what's the rope with
Oh
the two
yeah.
balls, the ballus, is it called? I can't remember the name of the weapon where they
So
swing it
no,
around,
I
and he ends
can't.
up flicking it around his own head and then like knocking himself out. Everybody groans when they see that. I don't. I laugh. I laugh every time. So I'm a Wicket fan, and and I like Warwick Davis as well. I think he's
I like
fantastic.
Warwick Davis. I think
Yeah,
he's a very likable person, isn't he?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of this is one I actually never had as a kid, so it's nice to own this one.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a
Do
good
you remember
buy.
having many Ewoks as a kid, or?
Yeah, I had Tebow, Chief Chirper, Low Grey. I think they were the only three that I had.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I never had Wicket, and I never had any of the last 17 Ewoks, whose names
Okay.
are escaping me right now. Lou Matt, I think, possibly was one of
That's
them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. The fourth figure I picked up was Neon Num, and he was
Third, third,
1983.
third figure.
Sorry, what did I say?
I think you
Fourth.
said fourth. Yeah.
Okay,
Third.
big pardon.
Yeah,
Third
we're on
figure I
three.
picked up.
Phew. Yeah.
Third figure I picked up was 1983 Neon Num. COO was Hong Kong. He was also UKG graded 85%. This was new case style, so it's good.
Hmm.
And he cost me £60, which I thought was
That's
good
pretty
buy.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
for those who've been following us, would probably have seen in our Southampton video that I actually picked up a Neum Num loose
Yeah.
with weapon, and I actually intended to send him off to be graded um, myself. But I saw this and I thought, well, £60, no one was bidding, so I just picked him up anyway. So if anybody's looking for a Neon Num with a weapon loose, send me a comment or an email, and
Yeah, that's fine.
and it's
Yeah.
yours. So yeah, that was a nice pickup. And again, I have to say,
Are we,
the rep.
sorry, did you just say you're just going to send that one off? No price. No, no. You're just going to
Uh,
give it away? Is this a giveaway? Is this the first giveaway for the channel?
well, I didn't think of it like that, but why not? If the first person to
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. We should have some rules here.
okay,
People need to be subscriing to this stuff, following
okay,
us on Twitter and Instagram and things like that. We've got to promote.
I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur.
No, do it your way. Do it your way. That'll be fine.
Yeah, pop a comment in, and if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. And I didn't pay very much for him, so if you want him, he's yours.
Make the comment, I want Neon Num.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then Martin will give it away. We'll get in touch.
Yeah, there we go. Didn't plan that. didn't
No,
plan that
no,
at all. So
no.
why not? Thankfully, that second yak face I've got. No, I'm joking. Uh, um, so the fourth and final figure I picked up was a 1980 Dengar. So got a bit of a bounty hunter
Nice,
there. Yep.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really happy with this one. This was a no COO, UK graded 85%. As you can see, I'm sticking with my I'm going down to 80% rule. And
That's
he cost
not gone well, has it?
no, it's not gone well at all. And he cost me £80, which I think that's about right for Dengar at 85%.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
cheaper than the one that I'm after, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
that's
can't seem
true.
to find that one, the VCO one, anywhere for
That's
less
very
than
true,
100,
actually. Yeah,
which
that's
is quite,
the modern vintage
yeah,
collection one. Yeah, yeah,
that's quite a thing.
yeah. So yeah, I'm really chuffed about that because now I've got IG88
IG88,
and Dengar. So I
yeah,
just need to pick out
Bosk,
Bosk
Forlom, Suckers,
and Boba Fett.
Boba
So,
Fett,
so
which could be pricey.
yeah. So when I've sold that kidney, I'll definitely be able to get that, get those. So yeah, I'm really happy with all four of those, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a
And
pretty successful week.
yeah, I think a couple of weeks. I mean, let's
Okay,
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
But I think this auction took place towards the beginning of February. So, I'm sure people have guessed we don't put these out straight away.
No.
As I've actually purchased them. We obviously record them the week before we put them out, but there's so many other bits of content we've got putting out at the moment. It's we just fit these in when we can. But yeah, all in all, really happy with these four. I heartily suggest Vectis auctions because I hear a lot of things about how they're really expensive and it's really difficult to get some bargains. But I think I did quite well out of those
Yeah,
four.
I think so.
Yeah,
Everything was under 100. We know you've had to go over that from time to time.
yeah. A
So,
couple,
I
two,
think,
three times I've had to go over 100, but
yeah,
for Dengar and perhaps Wicket, 70 and £80, that they were probably quite pricey, but I was quite happy with 50 and 60 for Klaatu and Neon Num. So yeah, that was really good. So yeah, you'll have to stick up the old scoreboard now,
yeah.
and then see, guys, just to let everybody know, I don't keep a tally in my head of how much I've spent on this because I get too depressed and so what Adam does is he'll edit this and then he'll put together the little scoreboard that we put up at the end, which is probably going to go up at any moment now, and he'll say, oh. He'll text me, go, "Oh, did you realise this is how much you'd spent?" And then I know I'll sort of get myself up off the floor.
Yeah, sorry, I have to do it. I just
Yeah,
couldn't help myself.
well, it's part of the process, isn't
Especially
it?
when it went over the
Yeah,
four figure,
yeah,
yeah, four figures last week.
yeah, absolutely. But then I think as we said before, as a collector, and you start a new collection like I have done. I've actually started. I think I've mentioned this before, but I've started to sell some of my other personal collection,
Yeah,
just to sort of try and fund this. And it's painful to see some of these things go, but I'm enjoying the Kenner graded stuff so much that it's a sacrifice worth making, I think.
yeah, yeah. We really should list your eBay account down below in the description to the video because, well, if people are looking for something, Martin won't screw you over with price. He's pretty reasonable, pretty fair guy. So
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I won't. I mean, obviously, you have to understand it's eBay, but
of course,
I'll say this off eBay. But if you want to get in contact with me off eBay, I'm sure better prices could probably be achieved.
yeah. There you go, another perk to watching this series. Hopefully, you've all stayed to the end
Yeah,
because I think that is the end, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think I have got a couple of irons in the fire, but
Okay.
just to make people aware, this will be probably the last making the grade for probably a month or so,
Yeah.
because funds are a little bit low at the moment, as I know they are with you for Adam's Bounty Hunt.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
by no means,
Both of us have got a few big events coming up, which
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, our money is going to have to go elsewhere for a little while, I think.
Absolutely, but by no means, does that mean this is forgotten about? Certainly, if you've got a Zoom lens, you might be able to see in the cabinet behind me a couple of figures that I haven't mentioned yet. But but it depends on the picture quality, I suppose.
Yeah, if you're able to zoom in on that, I don't know
Yeah,
that you will be, but yeah. So it's been a good one. Been a good
yeah.
one. Um, yeah, that will be it for today then. If you've enjoyed this episode, obviously like and subscribe. Say I want near numb if you in the comments if you want, and we'll pick somebody. Are we going to pick somebody at random, or is it going to be first come first served?
Oh, it's got to be first come, first served, I would have
That's
thought,
it.
hasn't it? I mean, I don't
Oh, I
know. I
don't
mean,
know.
I don't know how to do these things. I mean, I wasn't even expecting it to be a thing. I was just saying it off the cuff.
Right, I'm going to decide we're going to pick somebody at random because then we get a
Okay.
bit more engagement.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
But yeah,
Adam's in
so
charge of these things. I just ramble.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. But it works. It works. Cool. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next one. We'll see you later.
Bye.